It's time for the Drugless Doctor. Call a friend or family member now and let them benefit from today's exciting and life-changing program. If you want to lead a healthier life, the time is now.
Hello, this is Dr. Bob, Anthony, and Kaysen DeMaria with another half hour of health that I know you're going to thoroughly enjoy. Are you emotionally happy? Well, tonight we're going to talk about improving that emotional state inside of each and every one of you. And it's kind of interesting because we know as human beings that our emotions can affect so much of how our body works, possibly in a very negative way. So we're going to take you to another level tonight. We have notes for you. I would love you to go to www.druglessdoctors, DRS, that's doctors.com/blog, and look at the notes that we have for you that will make a difference in their lives.
So one of the things that we are always working on communicating with people when they come to see us for chiropractic is we're working with people physically, chemically, and emotionally. So physically it has to do with how our brain is communicating with our body so that it's controlling function on the inside. And that communication is instant and ongoing all the time, and there is a whole lot of it. So as chiropractors, we're working on removing any interference to that communication process so your body can express health at its optimal potential. The second aspect that I mentioned was chemically. You might be putting things in your body like not enough water, or foods that might be high in sugar or high in added preservatives, and that's going to also affect your overall health and well-being and the outcomes of health that you're getting. So our body uses what we put into itself to help regenerate itself. So every couple of months you have a new set of cells that are in your skin. Every 7 years you have a new skeletal system composed of new cells. Every couple months you have a whole set of new blood cells that are taking place. Your body's constantly rebuilding itself. It is made to adapt to the environment. But if we're not putting the right stuff in, we're not going to get the right stuff out. It also has to do with any medications that somebody might be putting in their body. That'll affect them chemically. But one of the things that we're going to talk about today is emotions and how to master those emotions so that they don't control your physical and chemical body so that you can live up to having 100% function on the inside. So think of it very much like three pendulums going up and down. If one goes up, another one might go down. And those areas that it might go down could be related to your relationships, your physical weight, how much you're eating, your self-esteem, what you feel about. It has the capability of going over into those other physical, chemical areas when we're dealing with emotions. So today, the whole goal is to come up with different strategies that we can utilize to help master emotions.
And emotions, they affect our overall health. So if you're always going up and down, this is going to be affecting your weight. Many people, they're binge eaters, so whether they had a bad day at work or just something relationship-wise that's going on in their life, that's their point where they know that, they kind of just go off their diet or go off their healthy exercising routine. And then what happens is, not just overall well-being, but you could be increasing your weight, lowering your energy, but other things, that cause this rippling effect in your own life really can be detrimental to your health. So it's not just women that I'm talking to out there, it's also men, because we have so many families in our practice that come in and we look at bodies for a living, so we can just see it in someone's demeanor, posture, whether it's all the medications that they're taking. You just feel it from people that, you want to help them. But sometimes what happens is people, by just going by their feelings, they're stuck in their own patterns of what's going on. So Dr. Bob, you want to talk just about different patterns we see of people coming into our office?
It's so interesting. Is a part of the blessing of this book. It's Dr. Bob's Guide to Optimal Health. It's developing 18 health patterns spread over a year. And a lot of times people will say to us that it's so hard. And it really is basic physiology. The actual very first pattern in this book is about drinking water. And I've had individuals, statistically, it's interesting that up to 20% of children today don't even drink water on a regular, consistent basis because they're drinking soda. Well, our bodies are literally machines that need water to purify. And I know that a pattern even of sleeping is the time that your body goes through restoration and healing. And what you have for breakfast, you want to make sure, and you hear this, but these are basic principles. You start your day with breakfast, preferably not a pastry, so your blood sugar stays the same all day. Because you can have an emotional reset because you had a pastry and your blood sugar drops down. So what we have learned in our own practice is that what you put in your body, like Dr. Anthony talked about chemically, can affect the emotional, and it can affect the structural, and it can affect the spiritual. I'll leave you with this thought. There's a part of your brain called the hypothalamus. It's the CEO of the body. Whatever thoughts that you have affect physiology. So if you have a happy thought, your stomach might not necessarily have butterflies, but if I had you right now think of a negative thought, it can affect what goes on the inside of you. So your patterns of what you think not only impact you, as you will learn from us as the segment goes on, how you change can change literally the whole world.
So it's really interesting too, is past experiences create who we are today. A lot of times, whether it was positive or negative, those past experiences can get locked into our nervous system. So whether that was a comment that somebody made to you when you were 12 years old, or even if you had an unsuccessful marriage or went through a divorce, or were sexually abused, all of those different things can get locked into your nervous system until you let them go. So we tend to live by those past experiences until we create new patterns for ourselves. So later on in the program, we're going to talk about one of the tools we've been utilizing in the office to help break those patterns. But before that, we have some simple, easy solutions that you can start utilizing in order to help master our emotions that'll help improve your performance. The very first one that I want to talk to you about is the power of positive thinking. Joyce Meyer, I'm sure that many of you may be familiar with her, says something that's very profound. Your problem's not your problem, it's your attitude about your problem that's your problem. Most of the time, you might be sitting on the couch and saying, well, my knee hurts and I can't exercise because of my knee, or I have this going on, and it's your attitude about what's going on, whether in your physical body or in your relationships, that's holding you back from having the life that you want to have. So even in one of her books, it talks about having a positive attitude and being confident. You can't have confidence and be negative. You have to have confidence and be positive. So the power of positive thinking when it comes to whatever's going on in your life, in your situation, in your relationships, in your health and well-being, having a positive mental attitude is one of the key steps in order to master the emotions that are taking place inside of your body.
If you're looking at home on the outline, the next thing is pattern interruptions. So you may find areas in your life that you know they're not the greatest, you know it's contributing to not having a healthy lifestyle or healthy relationship, but you just don't know how to change it. And a lot of people say, how do you motivate yourself? How do you be happy if all these things are going on? But it's important you can still be happy and still continue on just being healthy and still have things that you're working through in your life. So being able to figure out, even if it's just one area of your life, and start working on improving that. This might be working on just communicating something with someone. So forgiveness, maybe it's something like just, taking the cookies out of the house. It could be things that are just really impacting your overall physical health and what you're putting in your body. So an action step right now that you can do is just think of one area in your life that you know is not going the way you wish it would, and figure out one step you can take towards balance. This could be even just starting your day out right by getting up early and exercising. Could be drinking more water. It could be having a family meeting to figure out how to start moving forward with your family, in whether it's spending more time with relationships or exercising together, having family dinners together. Just one thing that you can start doing today that's going to help with your overall emotional health.
Journaling is another area that you could take some moments and just write down your thoughts and your emotions for the day and what maybe physically happened. I know that there have been people in my life that will go back and they'll look in some of the journals and have read things that they have done, activities, events that they've worked through once before that gives them comfort to go to that next level. So journaling for some of you might be an answer, just putting your emotions down on paper. Sometimes there's a release. It's been more than one time that I've written an email that I got my frustration out, and then I deleted it because I didn't need to create some distress by necessarily sending that email. Should we call it emailing instead of journaling?
So it's really important too when it comes to journaling. There's something called gratitude and being grateful for the things that we have in our lives. If you take some time out when you're journaling and come up with your own gratitude circles, you'll find out that there's a lot more usually that's going right in your life than it is going wrong. But just like I had mentioned before, the power of positive thinking, you want to be focusing on those things that are going right. So I would encourage you, if you need a way or something to start journaling about for the next 21 days, write down 3 different things every day that you're grateful for, whether that's your breathing, that you're healthy, that you have a relationship with your spouse, that your parents are still alive, that you're breathing, that you're able to exercise. There are so many things that we take for granted on a daily basis that if we were to just be grateful for the things that we have, our emotions would definitely improve.
The next thing on there also is communicating these things maybe with someone that has further training in it. So this might mean figuring out, okay, I know I need some extra help with this, whether it's, getting counseling, whether it's coming in to see us for that full examination to see if there's other areas, not just emotionally, but physically and chemically going on in your body. You want to detect those areas in your life, and if you need assistance, there's people out there that can help you. But whatever it is going on, you don't need to feel embarrassed about it. You just need to start working towards it. And there are people out there, and we're here to help you and here to listen to you and take those small steps with you to make big changes for you and also in your family.
So many people today are nutritionally deficient, and we have a variety of items that we have used very successfully in our practice. And one of the products happens to be something called Optimal EFAs. And one of the books that we have written is called Dr. Bob's Guide to Stop ADHD in 18 Days. And the book is about fat physiology. See, your brain works by a fat that affects behavior called DHA. And the glory of science today is that we could test your body, we can test your blood fat levels and tell you exactly what nutrients that you need. But if you're having some emotional distress right now, it's very possible that your oil light on your car, which is your body, is blinking red, red, red. Give me some oil. That means if you're going to a franchise restaurant and eating a lot of fake fats, that could literally alter your body's ability to have proper mastering of your emotions. B vitamins are also very significant. We have found, especially ladies, that can hear and have very sensitive noise sensitivity in their body perception. They need B vitamins. Lack of B vitamins literally will cause raw nerves. And finally, one of the products that we use is a vegetable-based culture called L-Izyme Forte. It's vegetable-based lithium. Lithium is a trace mineral. It's very important for emotional stability, even fibromyalgia. So if you're taking some supplements right now and you're not feeling 100%, it might be worth your while to give us a call so we can sit down and have a nutritional assessment for you. We also can do that over the telephone. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back. Hello, my name is Dr. Bob DeMaria, and I'd like to thank you for joining us once again on the Half Off Health program. I'd like to speak to you briefly about Optimal University. Dr. Bob's Guide to Optimal Health happens to be the text that we're using for a year-long study, a social media culture experience. You can go to my website, which is druglessdoctor.com, and log in and participate with us every month. We have a tip for every day of the year, taking you to another level of health and wellness. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about how should you start your day. This is a lemon. In the Bible, they call the lemon the goodly fruit. What we encourage our patients and our practice members to do is start your day with a warm or a hot glass of water, pure water, of course. Slice the lemon up into a wedge, squeeze the lemon in the water, put the lemon in the water, let it soak, slowly drink the water, eat the lemon pulp. What that's going to do, it's going to stimulate liver function, because see, your liver is the key organ for detoxification. Make sure you drink water from a pure source. Be conscious, be aware of what you're putting in and on your body, because see, whatever you put in your body and on your body, your liver has to process it. And if you're noticing a lot of skin tabs, lesions on your face, joint pain, body signals of liver compromise. So Dr. Bob's Guide to Optimal Health will make a huge difference in your life. You know, the first part of the segment, we were talking about a variety of ways that you could help improve your mental mastering and how your body can function at 100%. B vitamins, I mentioned to you, raw nerves. The mosquitoes like you. Do you cry easy? Those are body signals to me that you may, in fact, need B vitamins. What I want you to know is that sugar depletes your body of B vitamins. Oils are really important. Gentlemen that are watching us right now, you know to change the oil in your car every 3,000 to 7,000 miles, or whatever the warranty says that you should do. Well, in your body, you need oil also. We encourage at least 1 tablespoon of flax oil per day per 100 pounds. Make sure you have adequate minerals. We suggested a product called L-Lyzyme, which is a vegetable-based lithium. You need trace minerals. By taking a few of these action steps that we've talked about the first segment and incorporating, which we're going to talk about the next few minutes, you're going to help improve your emotional stability, which is going to impact not only yourself, but the people in your circle. You might even be a pleasure to be around.
For those people that need a little extra help when it comes to creating new patterns and mastering the motions, we started something in our office over the last year and a half called Evox. And what Evox is it is perception reframing. About everything that takes place in our life, we have a perception about that particular thing. And that's what we think and or feel about that particular subject. And it has a tendency to either promote patterns that might be good or not good. And a lot of times we have patterns that could be bad that are holding us back from the life that we want to have. So we use Evox in order to help people get the most out of life in the situations that they want to have. So the entire process takes place by our voice. So by measuring the energy in our voice, we can find different areas or patterns that are holding us back in the perceptual reframing process. The whole purpose of doing this is to create new patterns. So for example, a pattern that you might have for yourself, you might be an avid golfer and you like to go golf every single week. So you play 9 holes every single Tuesday because you're structured, but you tell yourself, you know, I'm going to have a great golf game this week, but I tend to usually do about 7 good holes and 2 bad ones. Well, believe it or not, when you went out to golf this week, you had 7 good holes and 2 bad holes. One of the things why is because that's a pattern that we're going to tell ourselves that we're creating into existence. So the Evox program uses our voice energy to communicate with what's going on in the computer, and we help to change those patterns for what's going on. So it doesn't just have to be a golf game or athletic performance. It could be something like interpersonal relationships. We've had individuals that have gone through divorces that have got together again with somebody that was similar to their first marriage or their second marriage, and they're having a pattern of abuse in their marriage. So by doing something like the Evox, we're able to help break that emotional pattern that's holding them back. So it's not just golf or just someone that's going through relationship issues. It could be somebody that's having a hard time losing weight. Weight is a very important thing when it comes to our emotions and the patterns that we hold for ourselves. And a lot of people could be held back by the emotions that we carry. So we've seen a lot of success with people that have a hard time losing weight or having chronic health challenges that don't go away because they were having emotional blockages. What the Evox does is it just helps change our perception so that we can have the life that we want to have. It is a really awesome, effective, powerful tool that I know that each of us up here have participated with quite a bit, and it has really helped improve the performance in our own lives and our own well-being. So who could benefit from doing the Evox, you guys?
If you're at home right now and you're thinking, well, I don't have any emotional stress, or I'm not an athlete, I think everything is going pretty well, what's amazing is every single person can benefit from this tool that we have, because these patterns could have been created in ourselves even before we were born. So when we're in our mom's stomach and things are happening, whether it's outside stresses, relationships, family members, all of these things actually influence our nervous system and how we are growing. And the great thing about Evox is we're able to actually do something called a transgenerational Evox. And this works through relationships with your family. And we go through a whole session with your parents, your siblings, your great-grandparents. And the most amazing thing is you could actually be influenced right now in a pattern that you're in from a grandparent that you've never even met. And just for myself, that was just an eye-opening experience when I personally did the Evox, that one of my grandparents that I didn't even meet actually influenced my life. And you think that the people closest to you influence your life. Well, that could actually be not currently true. So just being able to do this type of technology in our office, we're just really blessed that we can help people open new possibilities in their life. And you might be thinking, well, if I just go and do this, I'll be 100%, but it takes action steps. A lot of people, they don't want to take that next step of building congruency in their life and balance. And I know, Dr. Bob, just with you having the experience so many years in the practice, emotional stress is a big thing with people.
Well, it's kind of interesting because as you were talking, I was thinking about even some of my own transgenerational with my grandfather. And as Dr. Kaysen talked about, she was impacted by someone she never met. And what happens is that my grandfather, let's just say, he passed on when my dad was only 9 years old. Well, that impacted my father, who impacted me. So it's all this how parents and family can interact with you. Well, the Evox is a tool that is just basically working with an FDA-approved cradle that you put your hand on, and it measures electronic signatures inside of your body. What is so interesting with science today is that we have a tool to measure brain activity called an EEG, and we have EKGs that allow us to measure electronic activity of the heart, and an EMG lets us measure the electronic activity that's going with a nerve. So everybody thinks that the body is so magical and metaphysical and complicated. It's not. It's about electrical function. And what we do as chiropractors is we allow the body to experience its full expression because the nervous system functions at 100%. Well, the glory of technology is today. Now, I was raised in the 1950s, and the whole idea of the Dick Tracy watch when I was a kid was unheard of. Well, I know right now, and you know also, that you could talk to people face-to-face on the telephone. Well, the technology that is so advanced that we've been blessed to do research with is with the technology that we pick up through a hand utilizing your voice. Because, see, your voice is energy. If I was to come home from my office and my wife, Debbie, says, hey, how was your day? Fine. Well, she could perceive by the volume of energy in my voice, something happened. But if I came home, she says, how was your day? And I say, it was great. She also knows that something happened. So you know and I know that you could tell a lot by phonation. Well, the science has allowed us to measure the energy in your voice and re-add to your body